Hello fellow YouTubers, this is XallZall Rising. Welcome to another tutorial of Arma 2 Visitor 3. This time we'll be looking into how to cover or make our own landscape now. So let's get into it, and we want to start off with installing the L3DT, which is going to be our map editor. So let's go ahead and run that. Let's click on next. Read through the agreement. I suppose you can just leave everything as is. Click on next. I want to put mine to the D drive, so I'm just going to swap this here out. Install where you like. And let it run. So I decided to make this in several parts because then, this is going to be just the part for making the actual map, and then I'll make another part for only focusing on building roads, and another part on forests and objects. Okay, so after installation, let's run it, and here we are. And we want to go on File and create a new project. And we're gonna stick around with the same dimensions as with the tooth sample map. So we're also going to have the 512 by 512. But before we get into that, I just want to show you some other methods that you can try if you don't exactly want to design the map every single detail. You might want to use this method, which I'm about to show, which is going to create absolute random maps. So I think we go here and we click on next. Here again we can set the size, and the size will be, for now we're going to stick around with using this size, the 512 by 512. This can stay. We can go on next. I went with 16, so let's stick with 16. Let's click on next. And here we can decide what we want. So for example, if we want lakes, let's go to, let's say this map is going to have a lot. Arizona, I really do not know what that is right now. Average altitude, yeah, we want to basically go more for the more land mass than sea. Altitude range, let's stick around a little bit with more of the flat. Scale and features, let's say it should have more features. Noise strength, shouldn't be too noisy. Noise is kind of like random stuff. Noise shape, I don't really know. Select one or the other. Let's go for fractal. Cliffs and traces, yeah, let's go for a lot, just for the sake of it. And here we can see set the default climate. Let's go for Arctic, and let's see what it turns into. Design map, height map. I don't know right now. Let's go with this design map. Okay, and this is how it would look then. And basically, here you can see this is all sea. Here is kind of like rivers cutting into the map, and this is then the landscape as well. So let's see if oh yeah, I set it as a, I should have set it as a height map. So let's try it again. Yeah, discard. So once more, I'll just really quickly go through the process. I think it left it the same, so that's good. And let's go for a height map instead. This. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, it's doing it. I think this is what I was wanting. Quite the colorful show. Oh yeah, here we go. So this would be then usable for Visitor 3, for example. Now we kind of have to just imagine how this looks right now, because unless we actually export it to Visitor 3, set up the textures and mask, we only get to see the height. So I can just explain. Obviously here you see the lighter it gets, the higher the points are. So these would be like the peak of this map. This would be the highest point. And does it show me? Yeah. Here you can pay attention where my mouse is. Here it shows actually the altitude as well. So the highest point I'm guessing is 430, not 445. 470, so this is actually the highest point. And you can see this would be then kind of going downwards and downwards, and I think where you see this kind of line, this might be, actually, let's see, yeah, this is actually still ground, so I think this is more, I think this here is kind of like cliffs, this here would be more like grasslands, and this is a negative value of 21 here, you can see, so this would be here C, so this is water air in this area. Now you can create maps like this, and this would be already ready. If you wanted to use this map, what we just do is click on export, export active map layer, and make sure to tick on the XYZ, and give it a name, and that's good to go if you want to do this method. So keep that in mind, but we'll now go to the my preferred method, let's put it that way, if you want to have absolute precision. You can also use actually a random map like this and then kind of modify it, I suppose. So let's go again, new project, and let's discard it, and let's go for blank height map. That's what I like to do. You can keep the settings here again, that's fine. And then we have this kind of 3D world, which is what we're looking for. So holding down the right mouse button, we can rotate while moving the mouse. Zooming changes the width and height of the tool selected. Using the WASD keys, you can move around, so pretty easy navigation. And yeah, I don't know it's how to go up and down, but we'll find that out. So now this would be the entire map, and as you can see right now, this is pretty much set the altitude, I think. Let's see if it shows here. Position, altitude, so, oops. Yeah, it's not changing, so it looks like 0 meters, okay, I suppose, I think so anyway. But let's already start creating. So I can use the set tool, and then in the set tool, 0 would be obviously ground level, anything below 0 would start going underwater, anything above that will gain height. So let's go set the ground level of, actually, yeah, well, let's go for lower 2 instead. So let's first make the entire map as a water world. So let's go for -20, so that's the maximum depth that's going to be. Let's make, set the brush really big by just scrolling up. Let's hit it, holding the left mouse key, left mouse button. You can then just apply it, and as you can see, the color changes. You can also see here how it cuts in, and yeah, you can see that's the changing the height differences. So right now I'm just flooding the entire field, if you will. We're terraforming now. Oh yeah. Okay, so that's all good and done, and let's do a set to then, or we can also use a raise to, so I'll just use raise to, and this is where our characters can walk around and whatnot, and I'll set it the height to 5. And you gotta be careful now, so you kind of like the sample map, you can kind of guess the scale. So the sample map was like from here kind of going to here, so that was already big enough, so we'll kind of go like something like this up, kind of put it in the center, maybe a little bit bigger, kind of like that. I'm just estimating right now. Okay, so this is then our walkable areas. Let's just mess around, give it some more shape, maybe kind of like a curvature here. Oh god, that looks wrong, but yeah, well, whatever, we'll leave it as such. Yeah, we'll leave it as such, I think. It looks bad. Alright, next thing, we'll go through these stuff. Let's go ahead and click the raise brush. And the raise brush then will obviously raise anything, so if we just hold it around here a little bit, you can see how these parts are raising. We can also just raise it from the water level, I suppose. Yeah, there we go. It pops up like that. Let's see. We'll just mess around here. So I'll raise these much more. Kind of maybe here as well. So kind of encircling. Let's go ahead then and smooth this out a little bit. So if you want, kind of like, this is kind of like you just fall into the water, so let's make kind of like a beach or something. You can simply do this by smoothing. So I think if you make the brush bigger, then the smoothing process would take a lot longer, so it would be a nice path down to the water in this case. Now here you can see again the mountains, and let's make it a little bit more. Now let's just move out here so that we kind of get it like this. And then we can use the cliffs, and I think you can leave the default settings here, but I'm not exactly sure how it works with the height settings, but you can mess around, you can find it out. And here you can see how now we have a second thing popping up, and I think that's where it would cut in. So if we kind of cut in like that, and we're gonna drag it like so, and then it makes it a little bit more steep. If you can just slightly tap it, and you can see obviously this is going into the water as well, so the water would be offset here, but we can just simply click on the raise to, raise to, and then again it was -20, so I think that's, that was the, here you can, let me see, where do I see it again, how much is the, somewhere it shows always where the, okay, here you see the curve, I think, -20, yeah, here you can then see right here, if you look at my mouse, it goes like -20, and then if I go up here, this currently height is 200, so this would be really tall in game, so that's already pretty high. And now, like this, using the raise tool, it raises anything lower the set value, so it's not going to affect the mountains here at all. As you can see, I'm clicking it now, and it's going to raise it back to the original height, and it's not going to touch the mountains at all, so that's nice. Okay, now obviously here if we wanted to place some houses and whatnot would be bad because this is not flat, but we can use the Bulldozer tool to do that. So you select on a point, you want to kind of set the how much the size here, how much it will affect. So if you can see this red line here, how big it's going to affect actually. So we can kind of bulldoze this away, and now it's a lot more straight, so you can now place objects there. And again, with smooth we can kind of clean it up, make it look more natural. And then there's another interesting thing that we want to look at is the purlin noise. This kind of generates random stuff, so as you can see, it digs in and it extrudes. So again, we can use here somewhere, you can just keep on messing around, and it gives you this kind of stuff. And once again, we can use the raise to tool, and we can always keep our maximum depth, and in our case 20. And if we can then again go with the smooth tool here over and kind of smooth it out if we want to. You can, if you want to give extra detail, because you know, like this, the entire sea is at just a flat land. If you really wanted to, you can just go ahead with the purl noise, and just anywhere where there's, you know, where people is going to be, so boats going around and whatnot, and if they can like see the ocean bottom, then if you maybe you don't want to keep it straight, then you just kind of make it a little bit more detailed, somewhat like this. Of course, you don't have to do it everywhere because there's just nothing out there. I suppose that would impact a little bit on how the map is going to be demanding or not, so you can kind of set your efficiency in that. So I'm going to just rotate here around, and gonna do a little bit more of this here, smooth, and again cutting in. So here again we have kind of like a beach kind of thing going on. And now you can use the Bulldozer as more methods. So for example, if you wanted to have a road going up these mountains, you can kind of like set it like such, and you can see here we could already then have a path, and then from here, let's say maybe to there. It always creates this kind of thing though, so keep that in mind. It goes down at a certain angle. I think you can mess around that with the 45 degrees, so I think this here is a 45 degree going downwards. Not exactly sure, but I think it is. So. And then from here, let's go connecting to the mountain top, and I'm just gonna try making it smooth. So now we would be able to drive up pretty nicely. So just keep on trying here, and then using the smooth tool to just fix up some stuff, make it look a little bit nicer. Let's again use the cliffs here. Click on OK. Create some more cliffs, and once again we can use the smooth, just smoothing things out a little. And let's cut in some more rivers and whatnot. So let's go there. Lower brush. Lower brush can also do this, or we can just use the set 2 again, or lower 2. And let's see. Let's cut in somewhere here. So kind of cut like such. Well, this is okay, but I think it might be better if we just do the lower 2. And we're gonna lower 2. You can actually play around with the values. I think 1.2 you can still walk in. I don't know, if you set the right value, you can kind of like make a water where your characters will still be able to walk through. Here again, race 2, I'm gonna also click on race 2 to fix that up. And then let's move in this here out. Maybe like such. I don't know, I'm just doing an absolute random map design here, just to show how this program works. Point grab. Oh, yeah. Well, can kind of do this. Why not? Let's leave 1 or 2 of these stuff. We'll see how it looks in the game. This could be the weirdest place here. And let's do one inverted one. Anything else that I should cover here? I don't really think so. Oh yeah, the Avalanche tool. Wrong one here. Avalanche tool, again, you can set the values here, but I'm just going to leave it as default for now. Now the avalanche is, as you would suspect, it creates kind of like an avalanche effect. So as you can see here, the objects get subtracted and they kind of roll down. So if we wanted to make kind of here, you can see it kind of creates this avalanche-like stuff. And then we'll put some more pollen noise here for the sake of making the map design a little bit more interesting. That's all good. And once more, I'm just going to do a final smoothing here, just to, or maybe I'll just cut in here. Let's do set to -20, because this neighboring island here might get just cut in half. That's what I'm thinking, like that. Yeah, that kind of looks cool. Smooth again. We'll leave this as steep as it is, but I'll just kind of smooth out this here, so the player would be able to walk around here a lot more. Again, I can use then the Bulldozer if I wanted to kind of smooth things here out a little to make it kind of more flat. Yeah, there we go. And again, if you want to have absolutely flat surface, then we just hover over this and we can see it's 3.3 if we look at it again. 3.2, then we can use the set 2 and then 3.2. And we can then go around here, and now it's absolutely equal. So this would be a very flat landscape. Here again, let's see what the actual value here is 6.7. This 13 will stay with the 6. So again 6, keeping in mind 6 here, and we go around here. We can then walk around the island all the way to the back here. And this is going to be pretty much flat surface. Then we can smooth this out if we want to. Maybe just a tapping it here, because you want to be careful. If you hold it on too strong, it might just cut into your own path, and then it kind of sucks. If you intend to, keep it as a walkable way. And here again, also some smoothing if it's needed. Of course, you don't have to. Depends entirely on how your landscape is meant to be. Let's see if I can smooth the peak here. Oh yeah, I can. It's creating weird stuff. Yeah, but at least looks a little bit more normal now, because this kind of looks absolutely unnatural. Alright. And I'd say this is with the final design here. So we can click on edit and backup, I suppose. Yeah, let's click on backup anyway. Or what's this here? Let's save it as. I'll call it lol. And it looks like a PNG image, so I don't even think we need to. But yeah, whatever. We'll save it. Then when we finally think that this is the design that we want, definitely we can click escape once and. Where is it again? Operations, refresh, view, refresh, and so again, once more, right click somewhere here on the white blank, view, refresh. And here's our little island that we made. As we can see, just like previously, this is mountainous areas in the green area, really high points, and once again paying attention to down here, 230 at here. Red areas, anything in the red is ground surface, or here again, here you can walk around, all at the 6 that we set to, that little island here, going maximum up to 71, and minus 20 pretty much everywhere else. So this is the map data. As you can see, it's also using very faint stuff. It might be hard for you guys to see, but here you can see subtle differences. This is the data that Visitor 3 will then read and set its height. So let's go ahead and export this. And we want to export this as an active layer map. And again, XYZ. And we give this a name, and I'm going to call it lol_island. So that's what I'm just going to call it, because, yeah, whatever. Yeah, so it's going to go in this folder here. For now, I'm just going to click OK. You'll just have to find out where you're saved. I'm just going to minimize, because I think there's a way of editing. Yeah, you can, by the way, if you didn't like something, you can just, as you saw, I'm just going to click escape again. If you guys thought that you made a mistake and you wanted to fix something, just go up here at the edit button. And that's all you have to do. And then you're right away back. So once again, then escape to get out of this. And therefore, we want to actually also save this project, and I'm going to call it lol_island. And I think you should do the underscore or something, or give it a single name. You know, do not use spaces. I think spaces shouldn't be a good idea, but not certain. But to be sure, let's do it that way. So then we can now open this as well in the future in case something goes wrong, because it can be that you work on your visitor tree and suddenly you just notice that I wish I could change that. So therefore, always good idea to back these stuff up. Okay, now going back to our Arma tools, going back to our workspace, Arma work and then workspace. What we want to do is create a new folder and give it a name. We'll call this lol_island. And what we're actually going to do is we're going to take the tut sample map and we're going to copy everything in here and we're going to paste it over to here. Spares us a lot of work. Okay, then we want to go from here, we want to go to data, we want to go into the layers, and we want to just, you can do CTRL and A to select all, or you can just drag and then go all the way down. And then you can click on the del on your keyboard, or you can right click and delete, and let's just get rid of this. Don't need it, since we'll be applying new textures to it, but that will come in a later tutorial. For now, we're going to use the old stuff, such as this here. Now, in here in the Terran stuff, we want to open this up, and we kind of leave it on the side here. We want to go wherever we saved our map. In my case, it was C users, XallZall, L3DT, it's like freaking L2D2. Go to your maps, then here in my case, Low Island. You think you can actually delete these two as well, so you don't need these. And then let's just drag it over there, and that's all good. Then we want to kind of prep our stuff again here, so I'm just going to go back here because I'd like doing it the lazy method. I'm just going to right click, rename, Ctrl and C just to copy the name here, and then go, these stuff can be deleted, except that HPP thing, we kind of want to just rename it to this here. Config, yeah, it's opened up with Notepad++, that's good. I'm just going to replace, so now I'm going to actually use out the advantage of the Notepad++ thing here, and I'm going to replace every single tut sample map with our whatever you want to call it, the lol thing. So CTRL and F, and then replace, and every tut sample map will be replaced with lol island, and then replace all. and as you can see, now everything is known as lol island from this day forth. Then we click on save, and that's all good. We're gonna go to the source layers here again. Yeah, well, I only have to double click. Tut sample map here. Once again, CTR on F, replace all. This is already done as well. As you can see, it's a pretty fast process. Save it. That's all good. I'm not just gonna do a check of my own. I don't know if there's anything else, but I'm just gonna check the RV mat. And is there a reason to be concerned about this lol island? I'm just gonna open it up with this here. To sample map again. These has to go. They have to be replaced. So these as well. The SM underscore grass RV mat has to be changed. And that's all good after that. We save here too. And I don't think there's anything else that we have to worry about. So those three. Okay. Yeah, this is only the README. That's all fine as well. Alright, so now we want to go back to our Arma tools folder, and we want to open up Visitor 3. So let's go. In Visitor 3, we want to click on Project, New, and we want to set the dimensions that we set to our L3DT thingy. And again, we're going to go with the tut sample map stuff, so these settings here. Then calculator, and again multiplication by 10, so we just add a 0 to it, and click on apply proposed, close that, click on OK. And now project, import Terran from XYZ, and well, it's already here at the maps, but I don't know, I'm just gonna go for the Arma tool stuff because that's how I roll, you know. Arma work, workspace, lol island, source, Terran, and here it is. So I suppose you can open it either way. And let's zoom out. Where are you? Holy crap, is this really big? Did I do a mistake that I made it this big? Oh my god. I have to now find it. Wherever it is. No. Here it is. But why is it so large? Obviously I made a miscalculation somewhere. Let me check again. Project new. Terran size. Why is this? Yeah, I did something wrong here. Calculator. Maybe I did it by 10, so I don't know. I definitely did something wrong. Maybe now, I don't know. Yeah, it seems that way. Yeah, okay, I don't know what I did, guys, to be honest. But here we are again, so yeah, sorry for the confusion. And here, exactly as we saw, is our nice map. And currently it doesn't have any textures or anything, so once more we want to set up the parameters correctly. So give me a moment for that because memory fails me right now, so I have to just quickly check. Can't be making mistakes here. So, alright. So we want to go to our windows, and let's start off with the project preferences, I think. This is good. Yeah, this is alright. We just always want to go through these things here. Project preferences, and we want to set it to workspace and slash backwards dash, and we call this XallZall underscore island, like such, and then once more backdash, and we want to write in data, and that should be good to go here. Let's see if I need to, oh yes, then the next one here is project parameters, and click on this one here, edit, and let's set it to, I think it was 40 by 40, and click on alright, and there we go. So our map is pretty much in here now, so let's already give it a save just to be sure, and we want to save it as just like I did tut sample map thingy, like XallZall underscore island. We can just do that and then remove this here at the end, and .PBO. We save that, and our map is saved. Well, that's the end of this tutorial, guys. If this video helped you out, please like, share, comment, and subscribe. You all have my permission to share this video to help others out. You can also post me your maps in progress. Good luck, and see you next time.